All right. Thank you, Tim, so much for joining me once again. This episode is going to be really fun because today we're going to talk about Whitesnake and its album Forevermore. Now, as you can see, me and Tim have different covers of this.
I've got
This is,
this.
yeah, exactly. And I do have it behind me there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all my CDs for the Whitesnake stuff, for the most part, are from these like super deluxe box sets. And the remaster version actually has this cover. And this cover may look familiar because this is the one that was on the classic rock magazine version of this album. Because this album, and also there are probably many more, but one that I know is Def Leppard's self-titled
I
from
have that.
2015. Yeah, and that one was also bundled with the classic rock magazine. And so it had this like whitish cover instead of the gold one, which is the original cover. But this was also released in 2011 with the magazine. So I guess both of them are the originals. But yeah, they're kind of two different versions of it.
Yeah,
But
they're just
the odd thing about this is that they use this for the remaster and not this, because this is like the more widespread, more globally released
that was the
version.
retail version,
Retail,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was strange that they put this cover on like the bonus track, the bonus disc with all the alternative mixes and demos. So I thought that was strange to not use the original cover on the remaster, but yeah. Anyways, so Tim, what do you think about the album in general? What would you say this goes in like the Whitesnake catalog for you?
Well, it's a logical follow up to Good to Be Bad, which we discussed. I don't know that it's I don't know if I enjoy it quite as much. This is the album I really started to notice how Coverdale was reusing his lyrics, to the point where, like I've said many times, you knew what he was going to. There's one song in particular I remember listening to, and I just knew what the next line was going to be in the song. And there's one song on here that the title of it is an early lyric, and it shouldn't bother me. I don't know why it doesn't really bother me. It's just I can't help but notice it, and it kind of takes me out of the album. There are some great songs on here, and as always, he's got a great band. It's excellently produced. It sounds great. It's but I think I like Good to Be Bad just a little bit more overall, even though, like I said, I think there are some great songs on here. But it's starting to get really easy to draw comparisons to either earlier Whitesnake or songs by other bands, which we get into. But there's some exceptional material on here. I remember that I got this one and Night Rangers somewhere in California right around the same time, because they both came out right around the same time. They're both on Frontier. So when I think of one, I tend to think of the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. This was like the logical next step for Whitesnake after Good to Be Bad. But yeah, I think this is a really mixed album. I think some of the stuff here is like top tier Whitesnake, like really, really, really good. And one particular song is like one of the best. You probably know the one. But yeah, there's some really good material. But then also we have some of the more filler stuff, which I don't enjoy that much. But on the last listen of this album that I did yesterday, there was one particular song that I really enjoyed more, but we will get into that later. But yeah, I want to know the track listing of your original CD, because I think, because it was the case with Good to Be Bad, that the
Yeah.
remaster was different to the original. So I will show you the track listing here.
Yeah.
And is your different to this one here? Of course, this has the unzipped added songs, but is the song order different to yours?
No, that's the original. Near as I can tell, that's the original track listing. I know that like the vinyl version, it's way different.
Yeah.
But no, what you've got there is the same as the gold
All
cover of
right.
the original CD.
That's
Yeah,
good.
and
Okay.
I am used to this track listing.
Yeah. Yeah. So because on the remix they actually changed a lot of the track order, and they changed the opener too, to
Yeah,
Love Will Set You Free, which I
yeah.
think is a great opener. But we will go with the original track listing. And the first song, Steal Your Heart Away. I do really enjoy this. I think this is a great one. Now, as I mentioned in the last episode, I got into more of these later Whitesnake albums with the compilations, the what
The
was it?
rock
Red, White,
album,
and Blues
the love
trilogy.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, Red, White, and Blues trilogy. And yeah, so I first heard this song on the Blues album, and it was also the opener there. So for me, "Steal Your Heart Away" is like one of the. It's a logical opener for me because it was on both Forevermore and the Blues album. So I've always like seen this as an opener song, and I do really like it. I love like the harmonica that goes along with the riff. I do
Yeah.
really like that. It
Yeah.
gives this really bluesy feeling. And yeah, I think this is just a great hard rocking song. And David's vocal performance is amazing. And yeah, great opener. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like it. To me, this is the opening track. Like, this is the logical opening track. I do like the harmonica in it. It's different. There's not a lot of harmonica in Whitesnake songs, but as opposed to like a saxophone or something, like an instrument that's outside of, I like it when it's different, and it's this is a good opener. It's just a good solid Whitesnake album opener. And I will say too, like for an album that came out in 2011, wasn't a huge gap in between like Good to Be Bad, because like as in the later years, these older bands would take forever in between albums. This is actually pretty timely. 3 years, that's
Yeah.
that's about average. But yeah, I think it's a good way to start the album off, and it just like it, what you're going to get with Whitesnake. And as far as like mixing up song orders, that's not new. I mean, between UK and international versions of albums, that goes all the way back to Slide It In. I remember the first time I heard the UK version of Slide It In starting off with Gambler, and I was like, that's weird to me.
And that's funny because that's the track order that I'm used to. I'm used to the UK version, and I love that Gambler opens
or the 87 version starting off with Still of the Night. See, that's a strange thing to me, but you get used to the version that you grow up on.
Yeah, that's the same with that album too. Still the Night is the opener for me. So, but for a lot of people in the US, Crying in the Rain is the opener, definitely. So yeah, it's a matter of perspective. So yeah.
It's interesting how the record companies make these decisions to say, I think they'll like this one better. But I think in the case of Still of the Night, they were saying, look, this is a magnificent song. Don't give it to them right away. Make them wait for it. Of course, it was the first single, so a lot of people bought that album having heard it anyway. But I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting. But to me, Steal Your Heart Away makes perfect sense opening this album.
And I do like the part in the song where you hear like these harmonizing vocals. You have the and you have the and the guitar. It's just really, really great. I love that part too. So I think it's overall just a great, great opener. The next song, All Out of Luck. I think this may be the one that you refer to when you say that.
Absolutely, it is. I was driving to work. I had this CD playing, All Out of Luck. I bet he says clean out of time, and he did. I just knew it. There's nothing exciting to me about this. Like musically, it's good, but this song does absolutely nothing for me because it's just there. And it's not bad. I've talked to people that didn't grow up on the older Whitesnake and we're like, well, what are you talking about? It's just good. I'm like, it's been done. And I don't know. Coverdale's a smart guy. It's just really interesting how, I always joke that he's written 2 sets of lyrics in his lifetime. Well, maybe 3. So he's written like the sex lyric. He's written the love lyric, and then he's written like the sort of the philosophical, like sailing ships type of lyric. And pretty much everything he's done has been a variant of one of those 3 types of lyrics. Now, I say that as a fan, and I say that with a smile, but this song just to me, it definitely shouldn't be track 2. It feels like it should be buried later in the track list.
Yeah, I might as well get into this too with the recycling of the lyrics. And I will actually skip ahead to a song that comes later also here. But one of the 2 lines from this song is "Take me home tonight, make me feel all right." Mm-hmm. And that pops up again at the love and treat me right.
Yeah, he took the other half of that lyric and made a whole song out of it. So and And to me, Hit and Run is a better song than either of those.
Yep. And it pops up again in Love and Treat Me Right, but he adds Come On Baby between those lines.
Oh, well, okay. So he changed it
Take
up.
Me Home Tonight. Come on, baby, take me home tonight. Come on, baby, make me feel all right. So it pops up again on the same album, the same lyric. It's just
that grated on me after a while. It's like, you know, that's sort of like saying, you know, the older fans, so, well, who cares? You know, I'm interested in getting newer fans, which is crazy. I mean, yes, you can get newer fans, but at this point, the people that are going to be buying your albums are probably people that have been following Whitesnake for a certain amount of time, right? And they're going to know your earlier catalog. Is this the same lineup that did Good to Be Bad? Because I know there were like tons of changes. No, this one has Brian Tichy on drums, not Chris Frazier.
Yep, absolutely. And it also has the keyboard player.
Yeah, Timothy Drury.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's Timothy Drury, actually. I think it's also someone named Brian.
No, he's listed as a special guest. Timothy Drury on keyboards, and Jasper Coverdale, who's David's son, on vocals.
Yeah. But
and this is an interesting variant on the color of the album too.
Yeah.
This sort of,
and that's the Blu-ray that you see above me here. That's the cover right there.
Yeah.
But I do remember reading that there were another guy on the keyboards, but maybe I got it wrong. But yeah, anyways.
Well, what I find too, and you know, it might be my old age, but I find that when you have the print against these different colors, it is very, very hard to read.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So I do like to do these videos kind of unprepared. Here's a great example. We don't really do all the research because I like to do it more casual, just having a conversation about the music. But
that's a complaint that I've had though with not being able to read the liner notes. I think it was my Night Ranger book, because the same thing happened. I said it shouldn't be easier for me to get the information off of Wikipedia than it is from the actual album. But sometimes it is. Like, I just can't read it, or Discogs. I should be able to get it right from the. But yeah, I think the lineup is for the most part intact from Good to Be Bad. Now after this, it would change, obviously, but.
They had a new bass player on this, Michael Devon. He wasn't on.
Oh, that's right. Uriah Duffy played. Yeah, see, that's right. The Whitesnake, the family tree of Whitesnake, I mean, alone, never mind the Deep Purple family tree. It's insane, the number of.
It's really confusing.
Because I kept thinking, as I was listening to this, I kept thinking that Tommy Aldridge had come back at this point, but no, not for this one, not yet.
Nope. And this is the part that's really confusing. Was Tommy Aldridge on the Purple album, or was he not? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Flesh and Blood too.
Yeah, I mean, but the weird thing is that he's on the 2006 live album.
Yeah, that's also really strange.
So, but now maybe that was a scheduling thing. But it is interesting that he's the only guy that David brought back from sort of the hit making
time and time again.
Yeah. And I mean, he's fantastic. That's when I saw Whitesnake, Tommy was on drums and he did the barehanded solo. I mean, he's amazing. He's an amazing drummer. I mean, obviously, but yeah, the lineups changed, but the lineups, it's not like a wholesale, here's the old band, you know, get rid of the entire band and then bring in a bunch of new guys.
Just one member or two members that they change out. So it's really, really confusing. But yeah, the next song, Love Will Set You Free. I think this is one of the highlights. When I first heard this on the Love Songs album, because that's the way I got introduced to it, I just loved it. I do really like this. And I'm not too sure. I never look up like videos. I'm never interested in the music video, but this had a music video.
Yep, that's the first time I knew that the Whitesnake had a new album, because this was the first single from the album. And so this was the first song I heard from it. I'm kind of old school in that way. I mean, I grew up the age of music video. It doesn't mean as much as it used to. I mean, music videos, basically, they're made for YouTube, right? There's no channels that regularly. I mean, I grew up watching channels that were dedicated to music videos and interviews and things like that. But so yeah, this was the first single. So to me, it's interesting how this was moved to the first track
On the remix.
On the remix version, because I understand, because it is a great song and it's a rocker and it's a good way to kick things off. But to me, this is very old school record sequencing, because in the late 80s, you can find countless examples of albums that came out where the first single from the album was track 3. You'd get an opener, a second song, and then you'd get the song. And Whitesnake, at least in North America, did it twice, because the 87 album, Still of the Night, is track 3. Slip of the Tongue, Fool for Your Loving, is track 3. Plenty of other examples where the first single ended up, so they gave you like 2 songs to kind of whet the appetite, and then they give you the song that you've already heard, hopefully in the hopes that you're going to keep listening to the album. Even Def Leppard Hysteria. I mean, I know Women was the first single from Hysteria in North America, but in the rest of the world it was Animal, which is the 3rd song on the album.
Yeah.
But Love Will Set You Free, great classic Whitesnake. It's classic Whitesnake, and nothing in the lyrics bug me. It's just classic Whitesnake. It's got that swagger. Yeah, it's good. This one stands up with the best of Whitesnake songs, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said, it's a really standard David Coverdale love song type of thing. And yeah, I do really like it. I think it's really good. And it's a nice, hard driving, fast, energetic song. And I do really enjoy it. So it's one of the highlights, definitely. And the next one, I think it's also one of the highlights. Easier Said Than Done. I just really, really do enjoy this ballad. And yeah, I think I just love David's more gentle vocal approach also in this. He does that really, really well. Like, he can sing in all ranges, and I just enjoy like almost everything that he does. And I think this is just really, really great. And I love that guitar melody throughout the song. And just really, really good. I really like it.
Yeah, I like this one. It's just he's very good at doing these types of songs where as soon as he comes in with the vocal, you just know what sort of, it's almost like not characters, but there is a feeling to his voice. This isn't going to be one of his sleazy type of lyrics, like nod and a wink and just having fun. This is his sincere voice, and he uses it well. Yeah, no, I like this one. This is good.
I have to say, like, as you say, with his more sincere voice and it's more serious, and I do prefer those songs over like Dogs in the Street and these type of fast-paced, more not that serious lyrics. The
other thing too is like I kind of, as a listener, as somebody that's been a fan for a long time, I buy this coming from, like, I bought it, but I mean, I get it. It speaks to me as sincere, because he's he's acting his age. I mean, he's singing like somebody who's got the years and experience that he has would sing. Whereas it's almost like going into character to do those older types of songs, because you have to, like, okay, pretend that you're in your 20s again or something.
Yeah.
But this sounds like Coverdale up to the minute. Here it is. This is what's on his mind. But very, very good. And you're right. The guitar melody is very nice on this.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention about Love Will Set You Free, and this goes with the next track too, that on the remix versions, and I do actually prefer this, they start with David singing at the very beginning. They have this like reverb, echoed, double voice of him singing like the chorus, or the title of the song. And I do like that more than just the guitar riff starting the song, because tell me how it just comes out of nowhere. I think on the original it just fades in, and I think it's really strange. So I do like the remix version where it starts "Tell Me How" in the beginning.
And that's the version. That's the version that's on the the Rock album. It's interesting because he's done all these remixes of all these albums. A lot of it is because he owned the masters. He can't do anything with the pre slided in stuff. And I like we've said, I wish he could, but I think having the album out for a few years and listening to it, it's like, it would be cool if we did this, and now they've got a chance to do it. So yeah, no, I agree. It is different. Anytime a song, it wouldn't be different if they did it all the time, because then it would get predictable. But when you start a song off a cappella like that, it immediately you're drawn in, because it's
Yep.
like, well, they're singing already unaccompanied. And I'm trying to think of early examples of Whitesnake songs where that happens, and nothing is coming immediately to mind. I'm
Yeah,
sure there is, but usually it starts off with drums or guitar or the whole band coming in. But
yeah, definitely. So now tell me how. I just think this is also one of the highlights. I do really, really like this song. And this was also on the rock album, as you mentioned. And this song was really one of the, because the rock album came out first of this trilogy. And so this was like my first taste of this album. And this is definitely one of my favorite songs. And the guitar solo in this is phenomenal. I love the shredding in this. It's so, so good. And one other thing about the remix version compared to the original. So the remix version of this song does have a part where there's only like the drums, and I think also David's voice throughout. No, it's only the drums. And it reminds me of a part in Take Me With You from Trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know the part in Take Me With You?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I listen back to back. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And I do also like that too. So I'm a big fan of the remixes, as you can tell. So,
and that was one of the older Whitesnake songs that David resurrected, because I remember that was on the live album, and I was so glad. I was like, oh, this
is albums up here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool song, and it sounds so good, them doing it live with the modern sound. So that was probably a nod. That was probably intentional.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. The next one, I Need You, Shine a Light. I think this is kind of bland. I don't like this particularly that much. And this is also, the lyrics in this, I find very, what should I say? You know, when we always say, like, ask AI to write the
yeah.
This is one of the ones that I think about. I just think it's generic is the word. I think it's very generic. And it goes like for many of these songs. The lyrics are kind of generic, but I can accept it for the most part, because I don't listen to Whitesnake for the lyrics. I listen to Whitesnake for David's voice, the guitars, the drums, everything like that, for the instrumentation. But on this song, it kind of bugs me for some reason. But I'm not that huge of a fan of this. And also, the vocal approach of this, I think there's kind of like a filter or something on his voice in the very beginning when he sings "I'm on fire."
Yeah,
it sounds very restrained. Like, it sounds really strange.
It's got it's flange, or it's something. There's something on it. Yeah, this song is so poppy. Like, this is like uncharacteristically poppy. I mean, I think the last time he did something that was this outwardly poppy was something like Straight for the Heart from the 87 album, which also sounds a little out of character for him. I mean, it's a very predictable. It's the Who, Baba O'Reilly, down, down, down. Like, it's very common chord progression. He would probably say it's R&B influenced, but I don't know. It stands out on the album because it's different. And I think that what we're getting at with lyrics is like, no, you don't listen to Whitesnake for the lyrics, or at least you shouldn't. But if the song is written well, and the guitars and the vocals and the melodies are really, really good, you don't even think about it.
Yep.
It's when those things aren't as strong that your brain will start looking for other things. You go, well, what's this about anyway? And then you realize it's really not about anything.
That's exactly the case with this song. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. All right. The next one I love. One of These Days. Just really, really enjoy this. I love the acoustic guitar in the beginning. I think David's voice, and also like the background vocals also. Like I do really enjoy this, and I find myself singing along to this song like all the time.
This is
I just really enjoy it.
this is where I started, as I was getting ready for this, listening to this a few more times. This is where I started to realize that I think this album gets better as it goes. Whereas I think Good to Be Bad, I think is sort of front loaded with its best songs. I think this one's it's gaining momentum and strength. I mean, it's taken half the album, but yeah, this is really good.
Yep, yeah, really, really nice song. And it kind of reminds me of Summer Rain from Good to Be Bad.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And then of course,
kind of the same type of song, but
and then of course we hit a speed bump with the next song.
Yeah, but I have to say, I mentioned before that there was one song that has really grown on me the last time I listened to the album. This is actually the one. Even though I mentioned the lyrics before, they're recycled from All Out of Luck.
Yeah.
But I found myself like tapping my toe to this and singing along to the chorus. That's really, really catchy.
That's the David Coverdale magic when he's firing on all cylinders. I just can't get over the fact that the title of the song, there it is written, because I love Hit and Run. I love that song. Like, that's one of my favorite songs on Come and Get It. I think that song is just excellent. And that lyric is just, but when I think about it, and then I think back, it's like, well, his lyrics haven't changed. So why didn't I think about it before? Because the music was so good.
Yeah.
And this music is good too, but I don't not like it. It's more of it amuses me in a way because it's so, to me, so obvious that he's taken one of his older songs, a 20-year-old song, and 30-year-old song, 91 to 30-year-old song, and gotten two more sets of lyrics out of it just by one little snippet, which, hey, I guess, I mean, he's the king of recycling lyrics, but I will say this, as much as people, let's say the Robert Plants of the world accused him of ripping off Led Zeppelin, lyrically he usually just steals from himself.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so I like it way more than I did before. But again, this is the same situation with I Need You, Shine a Light. This is really like ask AI to write a David Coverdale song. This is definitely one of those.
It's like, it's in this key, it's in this tempo, maybe give it a title, go.
Yeah.
Or even not give it a title with AI search, because AI, what have they got to work on? Earlier songs. So they'd be combing through earlier lyrics, happen upon that one particular phrase and say, well, let's base a song around this. Yeah.
So I would say Love and Treat Me Right is like a guilty pleasure song for me. So Dogs in the Street, one of my least favorites. This and another one that's coming up, it doesn't give me anything. This is the same thing that you said about All Out of Luck. This is for me, like, this doesn't give me anything. I think it's, again, generic. And I have to say, you said the album really picks up for you and becomes better. But I think it gets worse, actually. There are some songs here at the very end, especially the last song, is just wow. And Whipping Boy Blues, I also really enjoy and fairly well. But Dogs in the Street and My Evil Ways, I just don't connect to these songs at all. They don't give me anything. So,
I like them musically. Dogs in the Street, to me, sounds very much like he was trying to rewrite Bad Boys.
Yeah, very similar.
Or Children of the Night, which are very similar songs on the same album, but they got the same tempo. They're heavy. So I like them musically, but lyrically, there's nothing new under the sun here at all.
No.
And I kind of agree. I totally agree with you on the other songs. Totally agree with you. I mean, we're getting into some really good songs here.
Yeah. And the next one is really interesting now because this was like the last song that David kind of used as a farewell to his career, to his fans. And this was the song that they added at the end of his like goodbye message, whatever you call it. His retirement announcement, I should say. so this was really like the last thing that they released together with the re-edited video, the remixed version. And I really like this. This is a very beautiful song. Again, you have David's more gentle vocal approach. And yeah, really nice song. Really nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's to me, this is an improved, much expanded version on "We Wish You Well" from Love Hunter, I think, which they would play that at all over the PA when the shows were done. Even when I saw them in 2018, they played that original '79 version of "We Wish You Well."
Yeah.
But to me, that's not a song. That's almost like when Queen would play their instrumental version of "God Save the Queen" at the end of their shows. It's not really a song. To me, this is a fully realized song, and it's one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I always wish that "We Wish You Well" was longer, like at least double the length. It's just too short. So this is a nice way to get this type of song fully realized. So that's nice. Whipping Boy Blues. This is a fun one. I do really like this. And I like the kind of lo-fi, kind of like megaphone type of vocal in the beginning.
Yep.
It sounds very, as I said, lo-fi. And yeah, I do really like that. It gives this like bluesy feeling to it. And yeah, and his vocals throughout the song just really, really great.
So
really energetic and yeah, great song. I love this.
I love it, but I do have to mention, and this is like we talked about with Coverdale Page. You're not familiar with Led Zeppelin.
I actually started listening to Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay.
Just recently.
Well, if you listen to Led Zeppelin 2, the last song on the album, "Bring It On Home," that's Whipping Boy Blues. Very similar in construction. Even kind of the way that there's a different vocal approach at the beginning of it. But I love it. I still love it. I think this is great. I mean, it took me a while to figure out when I was listening to this, I'm like, what is this reminding me of? Because I'm into it. I'm kind of bobbing my head, but I'm like, what song is this making me think of? And the way that I remembered what it was is that not because of the Led Zeppelin version, but 10 years ago, Ace Frehley put out an album called Origins Volume 1, which is all covers, and he covered "Bring It On Home," and it's one of my favorite songs on that album. And that's when I realized, oh yeah, it's "Bring It On Home." That's what this, if you listen to "Bring It On Home," you're like, yeah, I hear it. But it's its own song. It's just the structure is very similar to that. Because my first thought was like, is there something on Coverdale Page that this is based on? But I'm like, no, but you're close. You're on the right path. It's Page. But I like this one a lot. This is and this is one of Coverdale's fun lyrics, but it's just you just have a good time listening to it. And it's just like, well, this is why I like this band in the first place.
Yeah. Especially like Whitesnake. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be upbeat and nice. But I also really, really enjoy when he slows down and gets more serious. So I think there's a lot of aspects to like about this band.
There really, and I don't think most people realize how introspective Coverdale can get with his lyrics. All the way back to the Deep Purple albums. I mean, if all you got to do is listen to something like "Soldier of Fortune," so he always had that side of him.
Or listening to like his first two solo albums, even Into the Light also has some of that. But also like Only My Soul.
Only My Soul. I was just going to say that. Yeah. Only My Soul, Till the Day I Die. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. As I said before, My Evil Ways is the next one. I don't like this one.
To me, this is a throwaway. To me, this is it's not even AI. This is just brains on autopilot.
Yeah, it's worse than
we need another song. Yeah, it's late. To quote Deep Purple, it's lazy.
Yeah. Tim, the next one is definitely my favorite.
Oh, this is a magnificent song. I think,
and
this is
it has
really
to
good.
Be probably in my top 5 favorite Whitesnake songs of all time. It's just incredible that you have this album in 2011 so late into his career, not only for the band Whitesnake, but his whole career. And you have one of these masterpieces being created. I think that's just incredible to have such an amazing, epic track so late into the career. So Forevermore, the title track, wow.
Yeah,
Just wow.
it's really good.
So
Yeah,
epic, and it just builds and builds and builds, and then you get to like the drop, as I call it,
yeah,
when you have like the guitars and everything just entering. It's just so great.
yeah,
And yeah, David's vocals, and also, even though I think this is like one of David's masterpieces, it still has some of the recycling of the lyrics. Give me all your love, you have it right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
It's almost like a career summation. Like it's like,
yeah,
well, and I don't know if he does it on purpose or if it just, yeah, looking back across the years, the good times and the bad, all echo in my mind. It's like you can, I don't know. Well, like I said, I mentioned "Till the Day I Die," which is a fantastic song. That's a good closing song. Sailing Ships. Sailing Ships is probably Coverdale's his most sincere moment on the Slip of the Tongue album. And
definitely.
this song is like the ultimate version of that type of song. It's
Yep.
just a really, really, really cool song that I really think only David Coverdale could pull something like this off. This Deep Purple would not do a song like this. Rainbow wouldn't do a song like this. This has got to be a Whitesnake, David Coverdale song.
Yep. Yeah, I could definitely see maybe Rainbow doing this with Ronnie James Dio, but you had to change some of the aspects of the song
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean,
More.
this would be
But
sort of in the vein of Catch the Rainbow or something
yeah,
like that. But
yeah,
but this is, there's nothing mystical about Coverdale's lyrics. They're very plain speak.
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, this is what a great way to close the album. Like I said, in the second half of this album, it's some of the best tracks. We're just like waiting in,
mm,
laying in wait for the listener. So it really it ends the album on such a high note.
yep, definitely. So yeah, that was the last song. I just think this is a solid album. As we said, the last song, the title track, like one of the best in his career. But some of the others are good to great, but
Yep.
there are some that are just bad, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So I think this is a more mixed album than Good to Be Bad. I think Good to
Yeah.
Be Bad is more solid all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The Good to Be Bad doesn't have the extreme highs and lows, but
True, true.
but this one, the good songs are, some of the songs on here I think I like better than anything on Good to Be Bad. But the songs that I think are sort of phoned in are worse than anything on Good to Be Bad. So yeah,
Very true.
it's
Very
like
true.
there's two different kinds of albums, right? Like you get one that's like a medium, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good, or that's great, that's awful. But looking back on it now, it is interesting how you've got Fare Thee Well and Forevermore, because this will probably go on to be the last, with the remixed version, be the last thing he puts out, because there's
Yeah.
nothing else unless he does I mean, I don't see the point in doing a Flesh and Blood reissue because it's still relatively new. So this might be the last new Whitesnake product released in David Coverdale's career. I don't know. And I will say this too. I had this thought earlier. Putting out the trilogy, like the rock, blues, and the love album, was a really good idea. And the reason I think it's a really good idea is because those were on Rhino, which meant those made it into your standard record stores and they weren't just on Frontiers Records. So a lot of people would have picked those up and heard a lot of these more newer songs for the first time because they probably didn't even know these albums existed. So I think it's really smart that he mixed on each of those. There's at least two like really big Whitesnake songs where people, oh, I know that song. I'm going to buy this. And then I hear these other songs like, oh, what's this? This is good. All the way back to the Restless Heart stuff. I'm glad this is all Whitesnake right here.
Yep. He even included like stuff from Into the Light also on
Yep.
those compilations. So yeah, really a good mix of a lot of songs. So
very smart.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not just recycling or reissuing for the sake of it. There's a lot of thought put behind it.
Yeah.
And there's added value.
And also, like, the reason that I hadn't heard these later albums was because they weren't available on streaming. They were not able. They weren't available on streaming. So the first time I could stream them was on these compilations.
Yeah,
and I just got a taste of these albums. just a couple of songs here and there from these three compilations. So yeah, that was really great, and it enticed me to go out and get these albums too. So that was really, really clever.
It makes sense to me that labels like SPV and Frontiers wouldn't be as quick to get on to digital as the big like Warner and the bigger labels, which would it would be a priority for them, right? So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim. So overall, what will you give this album if you were to give it a rating?
Oh, if I was really, really generous, I'd give it an 8. But I think that the good outweighing the bad. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is pretty decent for a like you said, an album this far into their career. Individually, I think there's some 10s on here. I think Whipping Boy Blues is good. Forevermore is good. Fare Thee Well. I think there are some excellent tracks on here. But taken as a whole, I'm going to give it just a decent grade.
Yeah. I think I gave Good to Be Bad like an 8 or 8.5. I would probably give this a 7 or 7.5, about there.
I can't remember exactly what I gave Good to Be Bad, but this would just be like a half step below it.
Yeah. Definitely.
But definitely worth seeking out for anybody that liked the 87 album or Slide It In or Slip of the Tongue. Yeah, don't sleep on these latter day albums. They're really good.
Yeah, there's some stuff here to really like.
Yeah. And start off with those comps, because those would be the cheapest way to get some of these songs. And throughout the three of them, you get a pretty good. I don't know if you put the three of them together, how many of these newer songs you'd get, but I bet you'd get almost an album's worth.
Yeah, you get quite a lot actually. So
yeah,
that's really good.